Bazball?
No, I think it's had its moment. For this management group to stay, I think they're going to have to change. If they're not willing to change, and they think that they've done everything right over 3.5 years, I can't see how they stay. I think some of the England players are vulnerable with their mindset and concentration because they are worried about that delivery. I think the biggest disappointment for me has been Harry Brook. The fact that the ECB brushed that under the carpet at that stage tells me that there's problems within this culture within this team. So that's a real problem. So
Ashes 2027, what's the prediction?
I think England will win.
Vaughnie, welcome back to the couch.
Thanks, nice in here.
Did you catch any of the cricket?
The Big Bash?
No.
The Test?
Yeah.
A little bit. Once or twice I watched.
4-1, is that a fair result?
Well, we won 4-1.
Yeah.
Tosses.
Right.
So England won 4 tosses, Australia won 1, so that's right, 4-1.
Yep, okay. Bazball? Still alive and well? You grimacing a little bit?
It's had its moment. It was fun for the first 18 months where it worked against some teams that aren't quite at the highest standard.
Yep.
The last 18 months against India, Australia in particular, it's been exposed.
I thought Ben Stokes' comments were pretty good after the game, sort of saying it's probably been found out a bit now. Do you reckon they're willing to change, or do you reckon it's time to blow it up, hit reset?
Well, I thought they changed the way that they played from Adelaide.
Yeah,
you go to the second innings when they were chasing 430, they seemed to play a different style. Zach Crawley played great on that occasion, didn't get 3 figures, but it was like Zach Crawley that we know that's in there, the talent's in there, but he's just been making some glaring mistakes over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. Played some good innings, but I thought the Adelaide Oval was that moment where I thought, yep, they're learning. They win a game at the MCG, which was kind of a Bazball game because that's what the pitch said you had to play. And then you go to the SCG and they try to play, but they're just up against a better team.
Yeah.
Australia have been better. And look, for this management group to stay, I think they're going to have to change. If they're not willing to change and they think that they've done everything right over 3.5 years, I can't see how they stay.
Do you reckon there was a disconnect with the players and the strategy? Because it looked like it, from an Australian watching, it felt like all of a sudden, Ben Stokes in particular, set up camp, I think it was Brisbane, we just decided to block out whatever, just Bazball was in the bin. Do you reckon there was a disconnect? Because it looked visible to me. They're like, hang on a minute, what's going on? You can't really take it and pick and choose. I don't
know if there's a disconnect, but I think there was a clear change in realisation that to play at Test match level, you can't just play one way. You can't just play the expansive game. Better teams will just spread the field and know that you're going to make mistakes, which is what happened in the early part of the series. But you look at the way that Jacob Bethell played at Sydney.
Yeah.
That was as good a Test innings that you could ever wish to see. He hit the ball in the air, I think, once, which was to get 100.
Yep.
All the rest of the time he defended, he had great technique, he left the ball, and that pitch was doing plenty. When he walked out there in the first over, that was a tough pitch. The ball was bouncing, it was skimming through, there was movement, and the way that he played Scott Boland, which was to play Scott Boland late. Yes. A lot of England players have been playing Scott Boland out there. What he did, he let it come to him and played it under his eye line, which gave him a better chance of playing off the back foot. He never really looked to drive Scotty Boland unless it was right under his toes.
Yep.
And that was good management from a young player. That's the blueprint for English Test batters going forward.
A comment on him, which I hadn't really considered when I was watching him, but I agree with you. I thought he was, out of all of this...
You like him, don't you?
I love him.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire of a tour from England perspective. He is the one. He's the phoenix out of the Ashes. I love him.
Best player of the series?
Oh, he'd be close, I reckon. Yeah. If he played the rest of the games, I reckon he would have. But the observation was that the way that he ducks bounces is that he ducks them backwards, like he flicks back in front of his nose, whereas batsmen these days are drilled, as soon as you can see that it's short off a length, get out of the way. So he's watching it the entire way and then flicks his head back out of the way, which I thought was a really good observation of a young guy that's in complete control.
Well, Steve Smith played it that way as well, but he ended up on his backside a couple of times. But yeah, the art of playing the shove, you've got to look to play it.
Yeah.
Because that means you're studying the ball. But fundamentally, if you want to be a real high quality Test player, you can't play the hook shot to the bouncer every single delivery. No. You've got to have that ability to watch the ball. Can you play? Oh, all right, it's not quite there, and you duck under it by watching the ball go over your head or you sway out the way. But it was a technical masterclass.
I thought he was amazing. And I thought his offies were better than part-timer too. I thought he was handy.
Yeah, I think they'll come in handy, and particularly the subcontinent when it's grabbing a bit more.
Yep. So, do many players from this team survive moving forward? A lot of cricket coming up.
I think, I think England are young enough, and there's a few players there with a lot of talent that hasn't really kind of shone throughout this series because Australia have put them under pressure and they've not been able to kind of cope with that. But I look at someone like Zach Crawley's averaged 27. You know, if he goes back to county cricket and scores a lot of runs, and that's been the big problem for England for 3.5 years. It's been kind of a closed shop, this England team.
Yeah.
Once you're in it, you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And none of them really have had to go back to county cricket, even when they've been out of form, to kind of prove their worth.
Yeah.
I think it's so important for the English game now that they all have to go back. I'm not saying Joe Root or Jacob or Harry Brook, who's had an indifferent series because he made too many mistakes, but clearly the top order and the likes of Jamie Smith and some of the bowlers, they have to go back and prove their worth. And if they're the best bowlers in the county game or the best batters, absolutely they keep the position. But if there are players out there in English cricket that are doing a lot better than them, I'm talking opening batters in particular.
Yeah.
If someone in the county game that's scoring 100 after 100 after 100, and Zach Crawley can't do it for Kent in the second division, well, if you can't do it for Kent in the second division, how are you expected to do it at the highest level against India, Bumrah, start for Australia? Corners. So I think he needs to go back to county cricket, get a load of runs. If he dominates and he wins games for his county, which should be his goal, I have no problem that he carries on in June or July, whenever the series against New Zealand starts. But he has to prove his worth in the county game.
Yeah, okay. Crawley's a fascinating bat, isn't he? Because I think there's a stat, correct me if I'm wrong, I think if he makes 30, he goes on to average 70 or something like that. Like, he can bat. I don't know if it's up top 2 inches or whatever, but it's strange.
Well, the hardest thing at the highest level is the concentration.
Yeah.
You know, some naturally can concentrate for long periods of time because generally to be able to concentrate calmly for a period of time, your technique has to be very good.
Yep.
So if you actually look at the three centurions for England throughout the Ashes, Joe Root 2, Jacob Bethell, what have they got? Good techniques.
Yeah.
So it allows them to be calm for a long period of time because they're not worried about that ball that's on and around fourth stump, full of length. They know that their technique will look after them.
Yep.
I think some of the England players are vulnerable with their mindset and concentration because they are worried about that delivery. And if you're worried about that delivery and your technique's not going to look after you at this level, well, you end up dashing down or you're playing shots while you're out there because you want to get a number before a ball gets you. And that's for the players to kind of iron out that technical flaw, because if you don't have the technique at the highest level, your concentration will be lapsed because you're worried about your technique. So it's important that you get your technique sorted.
2 more questions. First one is, who was the biggest disappointment from the tour, both teams, and who was the biggest surprise, both teams?
I think the biggest disappointment for me has been Harry Brook. Harry Brook is, he's averaging 54 in Test match cricket. He's got all the talent. He's made too many mistakes. The incident in New Zealand pre-tour, as the captain's one-day team the night before a game to go out and do what he did. No idea where he ended up, but clearly going out the night before a game and having a little bit of a fracas with a bouncer is not the way to go as an England captain. The fact that the ECB brushed that under the carpet at that stage tells me that there's problems within this culture within this team. So that's a real problem. So Harry has to stick his hands up and accept what he's done. He's not played as well as he can. That's a lesson for next time he comes down to Australia in 4 years' time, because he will be here. I would say for Australia, the biggest disappointment, I don't think they've had many. I don't think they've had many players in great form. You look at Jake Weatherall at the top of the order, you look at Marnus, you look at Cameron Green. I think England have lost to a good team, but I think England will regret this for a long, long time because they didn't prepare well. They had enough talent within their group to be really competitive out here. And because of that lack of preparation, their inability to change the way that they play, their loose nature both on and off the pitch, they've been hammered 4-1.
It's weird because Harry Brook, again, from Australian watching, I know he's a gun, watched him in other tours, but I never felt worried when he was batting because I just knew he'd get himself out just to do something stupid or do something crazy. And credit to Alex Carey, who completely dismantled their strategy.
He's the one. I mean, Mitchell Stark's been player of the series, and rightly, he's bowled with pace and skill pretty much from that first spell in Perth. But you could, Travis said top of the order for Travis to go into the dressing room in Perth and say, I'll open the batting in the second innings when Usman was injured was a tremendous move, and he'll stay there for the rest of his career. But Alex Carey's skill to come up to the stumps, that nullified the England players.
Completely changed the strategy.
It nullified the Bazballers.
I loved it.
It was a great tactical move, brilliant skill, and I reckon you could make a strong case in the court of law that Alex Carey was the player of the series.
I had him down. If he'd made one more century or whatever, it'd be just I know he kept really well and whatever, made important runs, but also just that bit of skill is enough to dismantle a team strategy. I reckon is amazing. That a lot of probably other keepers couldn't do. But
Can I have one of those caps, by the way? They're nice, those.
Mate, this is a sample.
Do you have any here?
No, I'm going to get some for you.
Oh, so I don't get one.
It's the only one I ever made.
Really? It's a nice
It's a
cap.
sample.
It's a bit dirty, but I don't want that
Well, it's
one.
brand new. They're all going to be tan, but I'll get you one.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, last question. Ashes 2027. What's the prediction?
I think England will win.
What's the score? What's this?
3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
Reigns in Manchester?
I think
Not
what will
playing in
happen,
Manchester.
English cricket will have a reset. I think they'll have a more disciplined approach. It won't be boring because we're not in that era of boring, and it's important that you play a game that's entertaining to watch, but it's all about winning. And I think English cricket has got enough talent that by 27 something will happen. There'll be a reset, there'll be more discipline, there'll be more structure, it won't be as loose, and I think England will get back onto winning tracks quite quickly. They might have a bit of a slide down because of what's happened here, but within a year and a half, by 27, I think England will be a very competitive team, and I think they'll beat Australia.
Well, they've got the cattle. They, as you said before, they should have done a lot better.
Just got to feed them correctly.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You say 3-1. I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2 again.
Again.
Third time on the trot.
Yep.
In
It'll be
the
2-2
UK.
again.
You haven't won in the UK, since 2001.
Yep.
You know that?
Yep. But then there's no test in the north. Nottingham is that.
That's a disgrace.
Why?
There's no test at Headingley. The venue where England have won.
I know. I'm so happy.
The last
with that.
couple of times against Australia, and
Music to my ears.
it's been incredible for Test match cricket.
So what is it? It's Edgbaston, Nottingham, 2 in London.
I don't think it's Edgbaston. I think it's Trent Bridge the highest. I think
No,
Trent.
they must be playing Edgbaston.
No, I don't think. If we go down to Southampton, I'll work it out.
The
Definitely.
Brummies would lose it.
There's a test in Southampton, Oval Lords, Trent Bridge. Yeah, maybe Edgbaston.
I think Edgbaston's second.
Edgbaston's second, isn't
I
it?
know it won't Lords be second. Edgbaston first.
Yeah, they're not caring about the North, are they? You look at the Northern players: Joe Root, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes,
That
Brad
decision
Cast,
is beyond
Matthew
me.
Potts, Mark Wood.
But why
Do
Southampton?
you want any more?
Huh? It's fine by me. I don't want to go to Headingley.
No.
PTSD every time I look at it. Thank you, Bonnie.
Cheers. Thank you. Give us a hat.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.